Hello, everybody. This is Fabulous is 32. My real name is Shawana. So come on into the live. Let's see. Tonight, we're going to be doing a baby gown. Okay. So, everybody, I hope everybody had an amazing day. We have a motto over here. Everything is not going to go right every day, but it's what you think of it and it's what you make of it. And that's where we at with that. So, I can't see anyone from the chat. My son is supposed to be working the YouTube chat, so let's pray his strength because they be doing everything. Okay, so welcome and come on into the chat. Come on in. Come on into the live. Come on in. It's taking Jesus and a host of angels to get me to do live. But I'm here. I'm pushing past whatever I'm pushing past, and we're gonna go. If you come to, hey, make it with Marilyn. How are you? I hope you're getting better. Because I know I was there back in January, but I know what it is like. So I am glad. Hey Nicole, how are you? I'm glad to have you all in the chat tonight, rather. Now I have a disclaimer. Over here. Hey, Dibs. Oh my God, yes, I'm in this live. Lord have mercy. And yeah, we're gonna make it do what it do. I just pray that this what we do tonight don't mess up because I ain't got but one of these and the customer that I'm doing this for, she needs this um baby gown for Friday. So we're gonna do a baby gown. Um I get all of my items to be opening from AJBlanks. I love her stuff. Her items are thick. Hey Tampa, how are you? Glad that you could come on in. So I was telling everybody, hey friend Candace, I hope you feeling better, boo. I'll check on you after the live is over. So I always get my embroidery blanks for kids from AJBlanks because her items are thick. And sometimes you could be doing an applique or something, and it could almost cut your items, or sometimes your items be too thin. So I always like AJBlanks. But of course, if she ever was out of stock or not selling these anymore, I would just have to do, whatever it is I'm gonna do somewhere. But the disclaimer in this chat, um, I love to have fun, and thank you, sis. I love to have fun, but we don't follow rules around here. We do not follow rules around here. So I have a step one, step two of what I do, but I don't have no right or wrong way. What we do is we try and we do it, and when it get done, it creates a masterpiece. So that's how we roll with it. We don't have a certain amount of measurements or whatever. So we're gonna do a baby gown and a baby hat for the customer. The little girl's name is gonna be Sydney Jai. I think it's Jai, Sydney Jai. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna turn behind me. Disclaimer: we live in an apartment, so the space is limited. However, you don't want to stop your money waiting on something big to go down. So you got to just make do with what you do with the space that you have. So it don't look like a pretty fancy craft room, but we make money up in here. Okay, so that's a disclaimer. So what we're gonna do with the baby gown is we're gonna go into embrilliance first, And so I'm going to show you in a moment in Embrilliance how I create the image. And once I create the image, then we'll work on the putting on a stabilizer, because we're gonna have to use us a little stabilizer. So what they always say with the stabilizer is if you wear it, you don't tear it. Now with the baby hat, I use tearaway stabilizer because it's just a hat and it won't rub the baby's head. But with the gown, of course, we're going to use cutaway stabilizer. And then once we get done with it, we're going to put tender touch on the back of it. So, hey, sister, glad that you joined. Glad that you was able to join. So I'm gonna share my screen first, and we're gonna go to Embrilliance, and then I'm gonna show you how I create the name. So let's go into Embrilliance. So we're gonna share screen. Okay. So we are in Embrilliance, and what I do is when I go into Embrilliance, I click on, it says show preferences in window. And what it does is it allows you to select the mighty hoop. So of course, I'll show you the mighty hoop. We're going to use a 13x8 mighty hoop. I live by the mighty hoop. The mighty hoops, because there were times with the regular hoops that you have to screw the end on and it'll make your nails and your thumbs sore. So I use the mighty hoops. And a lot of people are like, you use the mighty hoops for that? Yes, I use the mighty hoops for that. And I'm going to show you how we do it tonight. Okay, so I always select the mighty hoop that I'm using. So I'm using a 8x13 inch mighty hoop. And let's see. Okay, so it's already on the 8x13 inch mighty hoop, and then I'm gonna select the A. That allows you to personalize it, but it looks like I already had it selected. So I'm gonna go in there and delete one of them. Okay, so yeah. We already got one. Okay, I guess it's acting up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the applique. I think I'm gonna use the. No, I'm not gonna use the sugar and fonts. Let's see what applique design. I'm inside of Embrilliance. So with Embrilliance, if you purchase BX fonts, with the BX fonts, it typically allows you to just upload very, very easily it allows you to upload your fonts. So if you buy a font, a lot of my fonts are purchased from different locations like Etsy, Itch to Stitch, quite a few different locations that I get fonts for. And I try to purchase BX fonts only for this Embrilliance software, because with this Embrilliance, it allows you to once you buy the font, it automatically loads every size of that font into Embrilliance for you. So you won't have to do anything. So let's see here. Oh, hold on. My mouse had went dead at the last minute. So yeah. So we're trying to get it back up, and I had to let it go for a minute. So let's see which we got. I think we probably are going to use this one. Let's see, how can I get this off? Okay, so I'm gonna go over here to file, and then I'm gonna go to delete. Okay, we're gonna delete that one, and then we're gonna slide this one up in here. So I was trying to find, I think I had another one font that was a little bit fancy, where I'm unorganized. when it come down to my files, because I got files that could probably blow up the computer because I have so many. But I'm gonna do that one day. But yeah, so we're gonna let's see. I think we are. I thought I had another one. I think we might use this farmhouse lemonade. Oh, that's not an applique. So typically you would know that your font is applique because you would be a BX font. But just say you didn't get a BX font and you saw a font out there that you wanted to purchase. What you would do is I'll show you what it looks like. Hold on one second. Let me, where's the font that I'm trying to use? Okay, for the purpose of this video, and let's see, is that it? Okay, yeah, this is it. So we're gonna use the farmhouse lemonade font. So I think we're gonna go with probably about a 3-inch font. So let me spell her name. Her name is gonna be Sydney. So Sydney. Okay, so yes, that is a great font. So typically with this font, you would know that it's an applique font because when you go to, I guess, the steps, let's see, if mine sometimes it doesn't work. But if you go to the lettering and you see the different layers, you would know that it was an app right here. So when you see something like this where it says color black, color silver, color light blue, black, silver. Those are the 3 layers of that particular font. So you have your base stitch, and then that's just the first stitch to stitch the letter in that area. Then you'll be able to put down your actual material, your fabric, because applique is fabric, meaning that you are applying fabric and then you are going to embroider. You'll put your fabric down after your first initial base stitch, and then what you'll do is it'll give another tack down stitch, which, like, say black will be the first stitch, and then you'll lay your fabric. Then after you lay your fabric, you'll go in and do that. They'll put that gray stitch around it, and that's your tack down. And then after the tack down, you'll take, some people don't take theirs off the machine, but I take mine off of the machine and cut around and do all the cutting of whatever I'm gonna do. And then I actually put it back on. So you don't touch anything on the embroidery machine. And then I'll put it back on the machine, and then I'll let it do the third stitch, which is the zigzag. See, in this case, it's a zigzag stitch. So it'll stitch it in the end in a zigzag. So that's how you know an applique is. Now with Ricoma, you have to change your actual colors on the machine screen. So it does not matter what color that you see in Embrilliance, because you're gonna have to actually change, you're gonna have to put in the numbers of those particular colors that you would like anyway. So it doesn't matter about it saying blue and black, because the colors that the customer is looking for is this is lavender, and I'll show you in a moment. And that way you can change the color, so you don't have to worry about changing the colors. If you have, I think people that have a brother machine, they typically change their colors in Brilliance, because when they get over to their machine, it's gonna give them that particular color, if that makes sense. So this is the name Sydney, and her middle name is Jai. So what I do is when I do a baby gown, I kind of slide it up a little bit, and then so that this the farmhouse, this font is the farmhouse applique. So now I'm gonna go back to the A, and then I'm gonna change the actual font. So then I'm probably gonna do just a regular farmhouse, and I'm probably gonna do like a 1-inch or maybe a 1 point. I may do, yeah. I may do, let me see what this jad looks like. I kind of play around with it to see what it looks like. So it's like Sydney jad. And so since it's kind of small, I would probably go all the way up to probably a 1.5. So it's Sydney jad. Or you could play around and do other little other script fonts. But of course, please note when you are purchasing a font, it may be the font, the BX font that you need, and it may be Ricoma uses a DST file. So it may be a BX font and it may be a DST file. However, some fonts that you purchase only have certain inches. So you may buy a font and that font has a 4-inch, a 5-inch, and a 6-inch. So when you're trying to do something like a baby gown, a baby hat, which is less than, was probably 0.75, or you might can go to right at 1 inch. Of course, that font, if you bought that font and it only comes in 4-inch, 5-inch, and 6-inch, you won't be able to use that font on a baby gown. So keep that in mind, because once you purchase digital items from vendors, they're not gonna give you a refund. They're gonna say you should have read. So I always tell people reading is fundamental, but a lot of times we just skip the details. So make sure that before you click that button on that cute file, that you make sure it has a lot of sizes. Some of them tell you in Etsy, they'll say, oh, it comes with 7 different sizes. Check the 7, to see, or check to see if it has smaller fonts. So let's see. So I think we're probably gonna start. We're gonna do that one. I like the Magnolia Sky. However, I think I'm gonna just stick with the Sydney Jai, because I look at it like when you putting this, because you want it to stand out, you want it to be cute and different, but you don't want to do too much where you can't even read the baby name because it's so fancy. So I just will stick with this. So what I do is, okay, so with the app, also with this applique, typically when you put it on your machine, it's gonna stick. It's gonna stitch the tack down, put the fabric, and then it's gonna do the initial stitch. You're gonna lay the fabric, and then you'll put the tack down stitch, and then you will have the final stitch. Typically, you will have to do this for each letter. So what we're gonna do in Breeze is we're gonna go in here and we're not going there. Hold on. Let's see. We are going to color sort it. So we're gonna highlight it and we're gonna color sort it. Oh no, that's not the color sort. Hold on. So what I do is we're gonna go to file, or we're gonna go to utilities. Where is it? Let's see. We go. So in Brilliance, y'all know when I be all over the place, I'm come back. So with Embroidering, typically, I don't know any software but Embroidering. So with Embroidering, it's gonna do a initial stitch. You're gonna put your fabric, and you will do a tack down stitch, and then you'll cut your item really nice, and then you'll do the final stitch, which is the zigzag. Typically with Embroidering, you will have to do this for every letter of your applique. I don't like it to take too long, and I just try to make it as simple as possible, because sometimes applique can be tedious when you're trying to do something of this magnitude like a baby gown. So typically what I would do is I go to utility. Okay, so I make sure it's selected, and then I would go to utility, color sort, and I would sort it. So I think I forgot to look down at the bottom of Embroidering before you color sort. It'll tell you how many colors you had. So what we're gonna do is, it said this design has been reduced by 15 color changes. So now we're gonna view it again. So we click new view to view it again. So now the first one that you see is going to stitch first, then the second. So now you see it up here because we reduced the color change over here. You'll see where it got the black. So it's going to do all the Sydney in the black. It's going to do all the tap down in the silver. And then it's going to do all of the light blue, which is the final stitch. So, yeah. So always when you're doing the applique, go to utility, go to color sort and sort it. So it can be what you need to be. So what I'm going to do is, let me get my, I'm going to go over here and get my USB drive. Make sure the cameraman done left the building, and he talked about my son is helping, so I'm putting this in the back of the computer. He's helping, and he said he want 5% of proceeds, and he ain't even in them. Like you got to be on the job to get paid for the job. So okay, so I have. So what I do is, for everything that I embroider, for everything, I always print it out in Embroidering first. So I'm gonna go file, and I'm gonna change my page. I need to know the comments. I always print it out in landscape, and so I'm gonna set it to print. So it's over there printing, and before I save it, I kind of like to cheat a little bit. So before I save it, let's see. Let me stop sharing. So I sent it to print. Okay, I might have to send it to print again. Hold on. Oh, thank you. Thank you, sis. Thank you. Okay, hold on. Let me go and make sure my printer is on and working. Okay, so it's printing. So it's printing, and while it prints, I will I'll show y'all how I cut it. So hold on 1 second. 6 people watching the live. Thank y'all so much for coming in and watching, because y'all ain't never seen me do that before, but be in the chat. So I don't like to waste nobody's time, and I like to teach people what I know. It probably might not be the correct way that you do it. Get off of my live. Without your shirt on, you need to get off. Okay, so I printed it. So I printed it off on my regular printer. So what I do is typically I cut around. So I'm on this table that I'm on, and you probably can't see the table. So let's see. So I'm gonna cut around. Well, I cut a little bit of that off. So and thank everybody for watching the live, for liking, for even coming in. I am very, very thankful, because people don't have to give you their time, and when they give you their time and they don't know what you talking about or what you doing, that is a blessing. So I thank everybody for coming in to the live. So I have printed it off. So I have it Sydney J. So I printed it off, and this is how I print it. And so I'm gonna go behind me and show you all how I kind of measure it to make sure. So we're using a 8x13 mighty hoop, and I live by the mighty hoop. Okay, another disclaimer, I got to put it out there. I don't normally be looking like this, but I had a hard day at work, and I went to the gym, and then had to come back and practice for the live. So I got my gym clothes. Typically, when I craft, I don't craft looking cute by no means, but I know that when I get in front of somebody, I have to look decent, because my mama don't play that, and she's probably watching. She be like, can you put a little makeup on before you get on the live? But I ain't had time today. I had to practice. So that's what we do. So what I do is do not put your hoops together. So you kind of have to clamp them like this when you're using your mighty hoops. So what I do is, I'm gonna do it on this table so you can see. So this is the table, really and truly. Hold on. This table belongs to my Juki DD4L. I mean DDL 8700. It's a beast, but you got to really know what you be doing to use it. However, I'm getting there, and then I'll be doing videos. So, but right now, it's a table. It's a table today. Okay. So typically, what I do is I have cutaway. So I have one sheet of cutaway, and what I'm doing is with the cutaway is always when you're putting your mighty hoop inside when you putting your stabilizer on your mighty hoop and you clamping it, make sure that your little tab is down. Ask me how I know. Because I had to do a little Spider-Man shirt 2 times because I put it inside of the embroidery machine this way. So that means that I had the design centered correctly, but it kept being off because this was hitting the arm. So make sure that you put it this way. Hold on. Yeah. This way. When you are putting your stabilizer down, put it this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down. Yeah. I'm going to put it down. And because I'm going to float the baby down because it's so small. So I'm going to float it. So what I do with the baby gown is, thank you, Marilyn. Thank you, Dims. You know, first impressions are lasting, but you know what it is. Okay, so, and I'm gonna probably go live again like Saturday or something. You know, showing all my equipment. So if anybody got any questions about where did I get it from and how much I got it for, because all my friends that know me, they know if it ain't a deal, it don't make sense. So I would definitely do another live to show what I'm working with. Hey mama, oh, you're in the chat. Hey. Okay, so I unzip the baby gown and make sure you're on the front side of you're unzipping, and when you hoop, I know, right? Because I have no editing skills whatsoever. So that's a whole nother something else. That's a whole nother. But so I got it open. I unzipped it. So what I do is what I'm gonna do first is I gotta put the top hoop on it. So with Ricoma hoops, you always have, anytime you hoop, even if you flip it, when you embroidering and you entering the embroidery machine, you got the dot down, this dot is down, and this is the hook. So you'll know if it doesn't fit because it won't clamp because you gotta have one dot down and then you gotta have one dot in the hoop. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna clamp it together. So I've clamped it together, and you gotta make it sound like a drum. So it gotta be like the drum beat. That's how you know it's secure. So because I'm gonna float it, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually put some 505 spray. I started with the PE800 first, and with the PE800, I live by this spray. Now, I don't recommend you get it out of Joann's because out of Joann's, it's like $16. Out of Amazon, it was like, when I got this, it was like $5 or $6. So, and then sometimes Amazon have like a package deal, but don't go get it out of your hands because it's like $16 or $17. So yeah, it's a lot. So what I do is I'm gonna come over this side so you all can see. So I'm gonna spray. I'm gonna spray it down. So I'm gonna put that this 505 adhesive spray. It's good spray, and it doesn't gump your needles. And I've never had any trouble with it. And I do these baby gowns all the time. So I use this 505 adhesive spray. I put it in the camera. 505 adhesive, 505 temporary adhesive spray. So get this spray. Get some good stuff. Yeah. So, and don't get it from Amazon. I mean, don't get it from Joann's. Get it from Amazon because it's cheaper. So what I'm doing is I kind of like turn the sleeves inside out. If you saw me doing that, I turn them inside out and kind of, and then so we're gonna float the baby gown. So I'm gonna try to pull it down. I'm gonna try to unzip it a little bit more. It looks like that's all that it is. That could be a decent, but I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna put it down here and float it. And all I'm doing is allowing the adhesive to stick. So, yeah. And again, I appreciate y'all being on this live. It means everything to me because at the end of the day, people could be doing whatever they doing. Okay. So I have the baby gown floated. So y'all see, let me know if y'all can't see. I have the baby gown floated on top. And so what I do is I get some tape and I'm gonna do that right here. And I tape my image to the gown. There is nothing that I don't do that I don't print out first. So I'll even show y'all. I have embroidered so much stuff. So what I do is I print it and I embroider it and then I save it. So, because my thing is, if it's a good blank, see, I'm into blanks. If it's a good blank, it can be embroidered. It could be, if it's a blank and it can hold up pretty decent, it can be embroidered. So I tried, you know, it won't hurt to try. You won't know what it's capable of, and you won't know how good it looks if you don't embroider it and try it. So I just got that, making sure that's stuck to you down to the mighty hoop. So we're gonna come over here. And what I do with this paper is I'm gonna turn my camera over there to the embroidery machine, and I'm gonna show you how I write it down. I write down what my colors is before, and then I get started. So we're gonna go over here to the embroidery machine, and we're gonna get it started. So, but before we go to the embroidery machine, let's prep one more thing so it'll make us go smooth. So with your fabric, okay, so with your fabric, This is the fabric that I'm using. It's some nice stars fabric. So I'm gonna cut a little piece of it. Now, they know in this house I don't play about my scissors. These are my dress scissors by Ginger. And I have several other sewing scissors, and they cannot be mixed with your regular paper scissors, or else you would dull them. And we ain't doing that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm cutting the fabric, and I kind of like to cut it so that way most of the colors can be in there. But in this case, we kind of really don't need too much of the yellow in there because of the fact that because the actual baby gown is yellow. So I'm cutting the fabric right now. And I always cut just a little bit more than what's needed because I just want to make sure that it covered the letters. So I'm cutting. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here so y'all can see, and I'm gonna turn on my mini press. Now you know they had went on sale for $39 because they said that they're coming out with the blue one. It does the same thing as the blue one. It's just blue. So blue ain't my favorite color anyway. Pink is. So this right here, this little iron can really, really heat up, and you can sub because I've subbed some earrings. Let me show y'all some earrings that I subbed. So I've actually subbed some earrings with that little iron. So if you get you some infusible ink and you can sub with that little, you can get these sublimation earrings and you can sub with that little mini iron. Yes. And you'll love it. And I sub these. So yes, you can sub, and I love little earrings like this. So yeah, you can definitely sub with the mini iron. So don't sleep on the mini iron now. Don't sleep on it. People look because it's little. But you know, big things happen with small things. Okay, so the mini iron is heating up. It's heating up pretty quick. So what I use is Heat and Bond Light Sewable. So if you check, oh yes, Marilyn, that little mini iron can really, really heat up some stuff. It's quick, and I don't like to pull out my big one sometimes. So this is the Heat and Bond Light that I use. I have that one too, Dimps. I had that one first. So I have that one too. I think it's let's see. This one. This is my first one. Now I did a whole bunch of stuff, trial and error with this one. This is a good iron right here. So yeah. So what you do is you take a little, you're gonna take a little Heat and Bond Light. So let me get my regular scissors. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So I'm gonna just cut a little bit off. Okay. And I just, for some reason, it's like I'll never cut off the paper. I just roll the paper back up with it. So that is, you know, that it's there. And label your stabilizer, because I have stabilizers for everything. This is cap stabilizer. Now I don't do hats. My husband does, and we have done a whole lot of hats. But because it takes it's a hooping technique, and you have to hoop it the correct way. So he'll probably come live one day showing y'all how to make a hat. Because the only thing I say is people have said all kinds of different things. Yes, that is from Joanne. So I work there part time. Well, right now I'm on hiatus from there. But I have been working there part-time, and I just found out so many different things because the manager is a store, and it's so many things come through that craft store that I would have never laid eyes on had I not worked in there. So I still give a discount. But yeah, they have like deals. If you check inside of the app, they have deals where you get it goes like 50% off, and you can get it. I have this right here is some stabilized. This is some wash and go. And I may do a video one day with wash and go. You can use just this and hooping, and you can make those embroidery earrings. That's what people make embroidery earrings with, this wash and go. So you can hoop it in a mighty hoop or the regular hoop. You hoop probably one sheet or two sheets, and make sure you have the matching bobbin to go with the matching thread, top thread, and you can make some pretty dangly earrings. And I have some earring files. I just never got around to doing it because I'm like one of them crafters that we buy almost everything we see, but do we complete the project? Absolutely not. But yeah. So yeah, and tearaway. I gave him a big boy tearaway. I get my stuff from Madeira, USA. A lot of people said their shipping is extreme because when you order from them, they do not give you the actual shipping until after they process. Well, there's a Madeira that's 14 minutes away. So I call at 8. By 10 o'clock, they have my stuff, but I just go ring the doorbell and get it. So I don't pay any shipping and handling fees. So that is probably the only reason why that I get all my stuff from them is because of that. Because why go and order some pay shipping? And so this is the thread. These thread combs I get from Madeira as well. These are Madeira thread combs. And I haven't had any troubles with these. I haven't tried any different brands on my 10 needle. Now my single needle, as you can see in the background, I have a whole lot of these. I have hundreds of these that I've gotten from Amazon, made by Brotherhead. Oh, Smith Red, Brotherhead, something like that. Yeah. Hi, Shirley. Welcome. How are you? My channel is Fabulous 32. Now, I don't know how I got this channel name, but back in 2012, when my friends and stuff was helping me set up YouTube, they said Fabulous 32. So I've never changed it. I've always stuck with it. So yeah. And I'm not 32. I've been past 32 a whole bunch of years ago. But that's what I had. That's, I don't know if it was significant or not, but it's Fabulous is 32. Some people said Fabulosis. I mean, it could be all of that. I mean, I answer to all of that. I know what they talk about. They talk about me. But my name is Shawana. So welcome in, Shirley. Glad that you joined the line. Oh, hey, Dainty Door. I'm so glad that you was able to join. Thank you for joining. So we go, okay, so the mini press is heated up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna now, and what we're doing, everyone, we are doing a baby gown. So we're gonna do an applique baby gown. So we're gonna pray to the Lord of the harvest that it do right, because we don't have but one yellow. But if y'all want to do those baby gowns in the future, AJBlanks, they're sold separately, but they have blue, they have pink, they have gray, they have navy, they have red. The thing about it with these baby gowns is a lot of moms like these baby gowns because they say it's easy access to changing the baby. It's easy access, yeah. It's easy access to changing the baby with the baby gown. So, and then I think it's just cute. It's cute to give, to someone. They can take a little picture with their name on there with the little baby gown. So they come from AJBlanks, and AJBlanks are phenomenal. They even have sublimation blanks too from AJBlanks. Let me go get a sublimation blank. Okay, so yes, AJBlanks also sells blanks. So this was an Easter shirt that was a sublimation shirt from AJBlanks that I did. I didn't like this one because I'm just extra like that. And when I look at something and I see one little thing, somebody else probably would have gave it to the customer, but I did. I saw those little blue dots and I know where it came from. I was probably rushing and did not lint roll the shirt properly. So it had those little blue lines in it. But someone that does not know sublimation, or they probably would have been like, "Oh, that's nice," but no. But AJBlanks, the quality of her shirts are amazing. Like this is a sublimation shirt, but you would know it by feeling it that it's a sublimation shirt because it's so thick and it's been washed. It's probably been washed because I do like a little wash test on it, so the customer won't come and say it washed away, it faded away, or whatever. So I do like a little wash test on it, and it's still holding up. It's still going. And this just like a little messed up shirt or whatever. So AJBlanks have good blanks or whatever. And they ship next day. So you get a customer order and they say, "Well, can you have it by Tuesday or Wednesday?" And you like, yeah. I mean, because you're gonna get it quick. So why not? So we're gonna apply. Oh yeah, this line. I like to talk. I like to talk, and I like to tell people what I learned. And different shopping things because on the video we don't have to talk about that ABA. Dimps, did you go to ABA Florida? Because I enjoyed ABA Florida. However, I got a few shirts from there, and they were like $5 and something a shirt. However, if you order a Bella Canvas shirt from S&S Activewear, they're like $4.39. So yeah, I'm gonna just keep on ordering from S&S. But I did get something out of there because they did have a lot of colors on hand or whatever. So okay, so with the heating bun has two sides. It has a smooth side, and then it has a rough side. So what you do is, oh, you didn't get a chance to go. Yeah, I mean it's very nice and it's convenient because all of the shirt colors of Bella Canvas of Next Level, they had all of the shirts in the size. Yes, because it was not too far from us. It was like 10 minutes, I think, from our hotel. So that's the reason why when we were heading back home, we stopped by there. But yeah, it probably was further from you or whatever. But yeah, so it's a rough side and it's a smooth, shiny side. So what you do is over here where the fabric is. Let me pull the camera down. Okay, yeah. So what you do is you're gonna put it, and I probably cut too much fabric out anyway. So I'm gonna cut that little piece of fabric out. Okay. So you iron on the rough side. So you're gonna iron on the rough side. So iron it down. And this is what you do anytime you're doing applique. You gotta put the heat bun on there to, get it to make sure it's stable. Because fabric will be kind of a little flimsy like, and you don't want that. So what we're doing is we are applying the heat and bun. Okay. So So we're applying the heat and bond. Okay. So we have applied the heat and bond. So now what we're going to do is, let's see. I use my little Cricut tool. And you kind of have to kind of pull it back a little bit. But I use my little Cricut tool and kind of peel it off. So we're gonna peel it off. So yeah, now you have heat bond on your fabric. So I don't know what happened with that, but we're gonna cut it. We're gonna cut it to make it straighter. Okay, and I always cut off the little extras. Just a little extra hanging piece or whatever. Okay, so now that we got our fabric ready, and y'all know my friends be joking with me because I mess it up. I mess up the name, the pronunciation, everything. But I be like, y'all know what I mean? Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. So they laugh and joke, but you know, hey, it's cool with me. Cool with me. Okay, so the fabric is ready. This is the fabric that we're going to use for the applique. So we got that ready. So now we're going to switch over here to where the actual machine is. So I might be in the way. I'm going to have to push the camera back a little bit so I won't be giving y'all. Hey, Patrice, how are you? Oh my goodness, yes. Dimps have pushed me. Everybody have pushed me to do a live. So I'm gonna do this live on this baby gown. Oh, I'm so happy to see sweet Patrice. Okay, so I'm gonna slide that back a little bit. Oh, I hope it's not too dark. So, and then I'm gonna turn this one this way too. So just in case. Yeah, I need more light. So now we're gonna have to go to work over here on the embroidery machine. So yeah, sorry y'all gonna get back inside and all that. Yeah. So we're gonna change out. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so now we're over here on the embroidery machine and we about to get it doing something. Okay, so I need to find the paper. So what I do is oh, look, I don't play about a lot of people, but I don't play with my girl Patrice because baby, she be in that thing because I've been to shut that mess down and be like, good evening, everybody. Y'all go ahead and go to bed. This didn't work. Bye. Like, I put it in the chat. If it don't work, I'm going to bed. I ain't fixing it. And we're going to live for the next day. But she come back and try to fix it, and she stay in there. When you crafting with them safety guards on, you is a crafting technician. Yes. So, yeah. She be in that thing. And I learned a lot, so I like it. Okay, so I print off this paper as well. And it comes with the embroidery software. And it tells you basically what step 1 is, step 2, and step 3. So we got to go over here to the embroidery machine and we got to make it do what it do. Okay, so first of all, we're going to first of all, we got to change the thread. So the customer is wanting to use purple thread. So I'm going to just change the thread off one of them. So I cheat when I change the thread. So what you do is you cut the end off. And so we're going to use the green. So we know we're going to be using number 8. So I'm going to put the thread on there. And then I'm going to tie it in a knot. Okay, so I'm making sure that you got it. Sometimes you got to make sure that knot is really, really tight. Because if not, when you pulling it through, it'll come apart and you have to rethread all over. So I kind of tied the knot. So that's needle 8. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling down needle 8, which is the green. So taking it from the needle. And so what I do is I just do a lightly pull all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. And usually I have like a little thread catcher that, and so you pull it down. There is a little hole that's right below the knot. So put it in there, and I kind of cut the tip so the tip can be crispy when going in. So it's been said that it's a little not a little bracket that's right above. Let me see if I probably can't get closer. But there's a little bracket right above the needle. Now, it has been said by master embroiderers that you need to hook that behind here. Now, sometimes when you go to your Ricoma training, they don't really tell you that. They teach you the basics. However, Ricoma people are good. Don't let nobody tell you that they're not. There has been times that several things have transpired on my machine that I had to fix and do. So, I think it just comes with the process of learning. It's a big machine, and you just have to learn how to do different things. So, and over time, you will learn and live and learn again. So, always get what fits your budget first. And then secondly, everything has a learning curve. So some stuff gonna be just trial and error, period. So once I study through the needle, I'm gonna take it back down through the hoop. And then I'm gonna kind of put it around, and it's like a cutout. Because you kind of want to keep your threads neat. Because when you embroidering something and another piece of thread come out there, it's gonna catch it. So I try to keep my areas. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, so everything has a learning curve. Listen to your own self. Everybody learn different. So because everybody learn different, it's maybe harder for some people, and they blame the machine. The machine is really good. I don't have any trouble, and I've tried everything on it. So just it's all about learning and how you learn. Just take your time and learn. When I started learning, I did something every single day. I tried different stabilizers, and you just got to know what works for you. Everything don't work for everybody. Every brand don't work for everybody. I stay in my lane. My lane, I don't get in nobody else's lane. I stay in mine. So if you find something that works for you, a process or a procedure, stick with that, because everybody's learning process is different. So that's how I look at it. And everything requires learning. No two items are the same. It's a 10 needle, it's a multi-needle embroidery machine, and at some point, learning is going to have to take place. So you got to commit to learning if you really want to know what you're doing, I guess. Because it is a manual, but you still got to run it. So what I do is I get the sheet of paper that comes with the Embroidery software. So I kind of write on it. So because of the way Ricoma is set up, it does not already preset your colors. So I got step 1 is going to be my tech down stitch. So I can say my tech down stitch can still be purple. So on my sheet, I'm going to write 08 purple. And then, okay, my next tech down stitch, I'm just going to do all purple, because these are only behind the scenes stitches is what I call them. And then my zigzag stitch that I'm using is purple. So, but what I see something that I'm gonna have to go into embroidery. Well, no, I may not have to. I may not have to. Yeah, to because I'm gonna have to change the color I see of Jack because it is trying to make it one thing with my last tack down stitch on the actual image. So I'm going to run into ingredients right quick. Let me share my screen. And let me share my screen. Okay, let me share my screen. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Go back to ingredients. Let me see. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to share my screen again and see how I have it as one image, one color. You can't really do that when you're doing this embroidery thing. So I could keep it that way, but I'll just go ahead on and well, I guess I could keep it that way because it won't start on it till after. Yeah, it won't start on it till after it gets done with that last Y. So we're gonna see what it do. So let me save it. I'm gonna save it as working and stitch. And what I do is let's see what I'm gonna save it as. I'm gonna save it as just Sydney. Sydney. Sydney gown, even though it probably won't do that much in embroidery. So yeah. So now let me okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing. So I'm gonna stop sharing and then I'm gonna go up here and take my USB out and then take it over here to the embroidery machine. So, and I hope y'all can see I'm putting it inside of the embroidery machine. So yeah, now we go. Wait for it. So what I do is I go to the lock on my screen. So yeah, I have this screen. So I go to the lock on my screen and I unlock it. So then I go to file and I go to the USB first because you have to take it from the USB to the machine. So I gotta go find it. I have a whole lot of files. There I gotta go through 26 pages. Okay, so there it is. So you'll put a little dot when you find it, and then you're gonna hit the embroidery machine. So it's loaded. It's now on the embroidery machine. So to pull it onto the screen for it to stitch, now I'm gonna just click on the embroidery machine, and there it is sitting. So I'm gonna click on it, and then I'm gonna hit OK and so now I always just get in the habit of going ahead and making sure my position is on needle 1. And you pretty much can do everything here. So I go to my design set. So I have it on D for my 8x13 mighty hoop. I use D. I kind of use the widest sole field that I can on certain things. Okay. And then I hit expect. And so for my colors, I should only have, so it goes based off on the Ricoma machine, it goes based off the number of color changes that you have. So we have 3 colors, 3 needles. So I know I'll put 8. 1, 2, 3. because and it won't let you go past there. So, and because this is an applique, I'm gonna do automatic manual. And the reason why I do automatic manual so I can stop. So after the tack down, it's gonna stop, allow me to put the fabric down, and then I'm gonna hit start again. Then it's gonna do the tack down, and then and once it does the tack down, I'm gonna take it off, and I'm gonna cut the appliques out. Then I'm gonna put it back on the machine and hit start again, so it can do the last stitch, which is the zigzag stitch. So I always, when you're gonna applique on my machine, I do an automatic manual, and I hit okay. So yeah, okay. So just so everyone can see that. So that's on the screen. So now I'm gonna make sure that this fit. Because you know you have to get your tools. Oh, okay, it was already on 8 to 13. So I'm just gonna load it and make sure it clamp. And so I'm gonna have to babysit this because if you look at part of the gown, if you look at part of the gown, it's kind of lapping, so you kind of got to babysit it. I'm floating it, so you got to hold it and babysit it and everything else to make sure that you don't have any issues with it or whatever.
I have, she said, you guys work with some big promotions. I'm still working with a sewing machine. Yes, thanks to do it. I started with my P800 and I was like, these designs are too little. And it's like, I really didn't have a manual. I watched YouTube. You don't reinvent the wheel. You just follow the wheel that's already been paid for you. And I mean, it's really easy because really you're not doing anything. The only thing that you are learning is like your stitch, learning your tension. Well, I did a tension test on this one or whatever, and it's based off if you like it. If it's too tight and it feel bulky to you, then you adjust it or whatever. But I mean, the one needles are workhorses, and so there is money to be made if you're into making money with it. The one needles are workhorses, and you master one needle. This looks intimidating, but it's not. You follow the path. You're gonna hook it around, you take it through there, you hook it through the tension, and it's listed actually on the machine which way you go. So it's real easy after you do it. Now, I don't do no digitizing. That I want to learn digitizing because it allows you to do more, you can create more. But right now, I just go to a digitizer because I haven't committed the time to it. Now, Ricoma came with the embroidery machine. It's the basic Ricoma, but with the Embroidery, you can add stitch artists 1, 2, and 3. But from my research, if you do get Embroidery essentials and then you add the other, I guess, tiers to it, I would start with Stitch Artist 2, because with Stitch Artist 2, it allows you to just import an SVG and then digitize around it. And there's Lady Lisa Shaw. She has great, it can't get no plainer than it, when she showed you how to digitize using Embroidery. But I'm thinking that digitizing is not as bad if you know like the density levels or whatever. And I'm just not about that life right now. I mean, I really want to do that, but I haven't committed the time to do it because I work full-time job and a part-time sometimes. So I just haven't committed the time to it. But however, digitizing would be something great to get into because you can create stuff. But the digitizer that I use, there are so many out there, and there are so many that can scam you. I use this guy, Steven Wilson, and I think he's with Dream Digitizing. He digitized so well. He has a quick turnaround time. He only charges between $8 to $10, and sometimes maybe $20. But you have to be careful when other people are digitizing too. Because I always do a test stitch because I don't really do no test stitch. I'm like, look, If it's gonna work, it's gonna work. If it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work. But most of the time they say get you some fabric and do you some, and do a test stitch. But I don't do all that. But by all means, don't do what I do. Do better. Because I just feel like, okay, why am I stitching this, waiting 40 minutes for something to stitch to see if it's gonna stitch out right when I can test it on the actual item? Because I have done that before now. I've done it with a sweatshirt. And I bought some stretch fabric to use to stitch out a item. And it looked really, really good on the fabric. But when I put it on the sweatshirt, it looked like it had like some little dent issues and things. So I'm like, if I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna try it on the garment. Now I usually have a 2-garment rule. If I purchase a blank, I have to at least purchase 2. So if I mess up the first one, I have the second one. But of course, supplies are too high for that. So, just make sure that you are, once you get something digitized, that you make sure that it's digitized properly. Because a lot of people have needle breaks and all kind of breaks when it comes to hats. But with hats, they have to be digitized a certain type of way. They have to be digitized from the center out on a Ricoma or a DST file. So keep that in mind too. If you're not going to digitize yourself and you use a digitizer, just keep that in mind. Oh, thank you, thank you. This is my first time ever in my life. I practiced probably about 40 minutes before I went live. So I'm trying. Just pushing past something that tries to hold you back. I'm just trying to push past it and just do it, no matter what. Because I mean, I know I may not be for everybody, but I'm for somebody. If I can just help one person get started and make a little bit of money, or get some customers or whatever, I'm here for it. So I always tell my son, you win your world one person at a time. So if you only impacted one person, I'm fine with that one person. So yeah. Okay. So back to, because I can talk now. I can talk. I hate that to say that, but the girl can get down. So what I do, okay, so I have the item loaded. So I have Sydney Jai loaded onto the machine. So what I do is I always, and I repeat, always run a trace. So what I'm gonna do now is I have it positioned on needle 1. So let me see if the camera gonna be good. Okay. So let's see. Okay, yeah. So what I do is I have like another little pen thing. Hold on one second. My assistant over there. My son is my assistant tonight, and yeah, he over there doing something. Where is my hold on. Let me get my little pen. Oh, it's over here. Okay. So what I do is, so you have to actually position it. So okay, I'm gonna have to go back up to show you on the actual screen what I'm doing. So what I do is I'm holding down needle 1, and so I just take the arrow and so I'm going down this way. So and how I know which way I'm going is because of Embroidering. Embroidering prints off the axis. Thank you, dear. Thank you. So what I'm doing is I hold Embroidering always prints off the axis, which is a good thing because it allows you to be able to center your image. So okay.
So it's pretty much really already in the center. So what I do is I run like 3 times. So when I get ready to trace, I hit the trace button and it says I have to be in embroidery status. So yeah, when you hit that trace button, you gotta be ready. And see how the gown is moving. The gown is moving. So what I'm gonna do now is hold it down. Hold down number 1 and then trace. I trace till I can't trace no more because if it hit that mighty hoop, that is over. So I'm gonna hit the trace button again. And that's okay if it messed up my setup. I just want to make sure that it's not bumping that hoop. I can fix the gown back. So I'm gonna trace it one more time. I do about 3 times to make sure that it's not hitting that hoop. Okay, so it looks like it's not hitting that hoop. So it's gonna be ready. Then I'm gonna take the paper off. Don't forget to take the paper off. Ask me how I know. I got the sewing and sew with the paper on. So it's already ready. It's already centered. So I'm gonna have to babysit it a little bit. So I'm gonna stay over here with it a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back. So what I'm about to do is it's ready. So I'm gonna take my little pin thing and hold it back, and I'm gonna hit that start button. So it may be loud, but I'm gonna hit the start button. And what I'm doing now is I'm just making sure that the gown doesn't get in the way, that the gown doesn't get sewed together, because all of that can happen. So I'm just making sure the arms and everything are where they need to be. So it's doing all of the first stitch. I'm just holding it down and make sure nothing gets stitched together. So, and I'm running at a 600 speed. Thank you, sister. Thank you, Dainty Doer. No, this machine, I promise you, the Dainty Doer, you can do this. I mean, it looks intimidating, but it just looks on it. You can do this. It is not hard at all. I promise you. So it's just running the first stitch on for every letter. And then we're gonna lay the fabric on the second stitch. We're just making sure that the gown don't get in the way, because we floated it, so it's not. Normally on this 10th multi-needle, you kind of really don't have to babysit. However, we floating this gown, so yeah, you gotta watch. Ooh. Just making sure that the gown don't get in the way. That's all we're doing at this point. This is the first tack down stitch. So, let's see. Hopefully you all can see. Might be bright, but
put your hand in there, put something in there. I get panic attacks thinking about doing a video. I'd have to be committed after trying to run one of those. Oh no, no, no. I was a little anxious. My heartbeats was really, really up there when it first started. But that's because that's what anything new. But everybody had to start somewhere. So, I always tell people, give people a chance. I don't have no big name, little name. I follow and I love everybody because I can get something might get some notes from you. I might get some notes from them. I may get some notes from everybody. So I don't look at who is big and who is. I look at the learning aspect of it because everybody learns from how they learn. So I promise you, it can be something. If I can do it, you can do it. Because I worked all day, even worked over, and I was like, I need to be off on time so I can practice. And I just was like, no time. If you keep waiting for the right moment, it ain't never gonna come. It ain't never gonna come. So you just gotta take the moment. So I'm like, I'm just gonna take it today. And whatever it do. If I get one live person on the live, that's good enough for me. That's my goal, is to impact one person. Because my friend, I don't know if she's still on here because we're not feeling well, but she is the one that told me, no, you can do it. You can do your own shirts. And I was like, girl, I don't have the skill set. She was like, buy your machine. And she walked with me along the way. Of course, I had to do my part, which is committing to learning as much as I could too. But the moment ain't gonna never get right. I had to learn that the hard way. I always used to want things to be perfect, to be in line, to be where it needs to be, and it just don't flow like that all the time. So I'm me, and I can't be nobody but me, and I have the life that I have. I can't get somebody else's life to go on live. So hey, I just have to do what I have to do. So I said, just get out there and do it. I'm gonna be here as long as I got them notifications turned on. I'm gonna be out here. Hey everybody, and hey everybody. That's my hey everybody. I tell everybody, hey, how y'all doing? And learn and interact. So okay, so the first the tack down stitch was the name. Oh, and I hope y'all can see it. I'm gonna lean it over. It might be too bright. The first tack down stitch was the name. And now we're going to apply the fabric. So we've already applied the heat and bond. And so now we're going to lay it down and just kind of lay it down a little bit and babysit it. Yeah. So now, because I have the machine set on automatic manual, so I'm just gonna hit start again. That's all I'm doing is hitting start, and I'm gonna do the same process, holding it, watching it, making sure it does right. Okay. I'm making sure that the baby gown ain't getting messed up in here. Sometimes it can get hooked on there. So when you're doing, floating it, you kind of gotta babysit it a little bit. So, I thank you so much. Thank you all so much. I can't be nobody but me. At the end of the day, y'all don't want another gift, and y'all don't want to look at another Patrice. Y'all want to look at Alice. Y'all want to know me. So that's it. So I said, thanks to do it. I mean, there's always something that you can bring to the table. It's something that you know how to do that we don't know how to do. So I always tell everybody, just do it. Go for it. I'm here to help everybody. It's like when I get some knowledge, I don't hold it. I share it because I'm not holding any information because I'm not intimidated, by nothing that I share. None of the creators are, or else they wouldn't create to help you. So I said, do it. Yeah, Christine, that's your name. The Nancy do it. I remember now. Do it. I mean, we your sister. We got your back. So go on out there and do it. And we gonna pull up. You know how they said pull up? We gonna pull up. Yes, do it. What's everybody working on tonight? No panic attacks now. Stay calm. Oh yeah, look, let me tell you something. I could write a book on some of the challenges that I have had along the way. Some of my days have been terrible, but I understand it that I can't win. You know, I the only way I win the battle is if I push past and I don't react. I have to watch how I react to it. So yeah, it brings me joy too. When you have the long day and you get on YouTube and your favorite people be live, you be like, "Oh, that's what's up," And I like that too. So we all on the same page with that. Okay, so now that I put the applique down and then the tack down stitch. So now I'm gonna have to cut it. So we're gonna go to the table and I'm gonna have to cut all the excess fabric off. So it's on there. And so what I do too is once I cut all the excess fabric off, then I'm gonna run the my little mini press over it again before it does its final tack down stitch. See how that puckered up right there, but it doesn't really matter because that's when it get cut anyway. So just make sure. Yeah. So there was a tip that Angela did, that what she does is she cut a snippet into her fabric before she lays it down. So that way when she get ready to cut around, she can go in there. She won't have to be so, safe trying to go in there without cutting the gown when you're doing these little intricate parts. So Sydney is on there now. So we're gonna go over here, back over here, and we are going to cut it. Sit over here at this table and cut it. If you don't have these scissors in your life, you don't need to get your pepper. Now, I ain't gonna tell you no tale, but some stuff I buy that be unnecessary. But just because I saw it and I'm like, "Ooh, I like that," I buy it. But these right here are necessary. See, they have a little curve, and I'm not sure if they came with my PE800 pack or I bought them, but I have these curved scissors, and I like these curved scissors because I can cut. I'm not a great cutter. Not a great cutter. So, yeah. So what we're doing now is I'm cutting the applique. So, look like I need one more camera. So I'll bring it back over there as soon as I get done cutting. And so you see how when you put it on automatic manual, make sure the camera's on. When you put it on automatic manual, it allows you to take the hoop off. And when I put it back on, it's gonna go in order. But if you had it on automatic, and you stopped it and took it off, it could possibly be off. So because I got it on automatic, manual, I'm gonna take it off and let me use these big scissors to kind of cut some more of the fabric down so it won't be so much wrestle me. So
So I'm just cutting around the letter, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Be careful with your cut because you don't want to. Let me take some colors because you don't want to cut the gown. Oh, hey Evelyn, welcome to the live. Thank you for joining in. Thank you again. Oh, my son said, he said, I just saw that. He said Fab Gang. Okay. Okay, Fab Gang. Hashtag Fab Gang. Gang, gang, gang. I don't know if she can say that on YouTube. So right now, I'm just cutting the applique piece. So just making sure that you cut as close to the stitch as possible without cutting the stitch. So that's why, when people talk about embroidery pricing, you want to be reasonable in your pricing. However, you have to charge for your time. Because look here, I'm over here sweating and cutting, making sure that that I don't cut the stitches on the gown. So yeah, and make sure that you don't cut the gown. Cut close, but not. And these little curved scissors kind of help you a little bit along the way. So, okay, so let's see. We're cutting all around the letters. What is everybody working on tonight? Okay, so we cut the letters. Sometimes you have to kind of angle it, move it around to make sure. Make sure you don't cut stitches, just kind of close, get as close to it as you can without cutting. And then I recommend that you use these curved scissors because they help you. I really need to stop my I'm working. I'm going to bed. Well, I need to be up. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. You need to be working on that bed for sure. Because that 5 a.m. is going to come so quick. Yes, Christine, I really want a craft room, so I could just have everything where I need to be and won't have to walk from around the sofa corner to the next spot, to the next spot, to the next spot where I'm working. It's coming though. So it is coming. And then also with certain types of appliques, you kind of have to get a little closer to the actual stitch because sometimes like if it's like a zigzag stitch and it's not a satin stitch, it will try to the actual final stitch will not cover some of your loose fabric in. So always make note of that when you are doing and cutting your applique. If it's really not a thick stitch at the end, like if it's like just a little zigzag stitch, it'll um it'll show like that loose fabric will show. It'll show like a little fraying. So yeah. So make sure that you keep that in mind when you're cutting and not trying to get too close. However, make sure those little frayed ends. So we almost get done with cutting the letters. And once you cut the letters, it'll be like a final stitch. Take that out. Take that out of there. Okay, just like I was saying, I looked over here. Yes, Dimps, I hope you have the rest of your week be amazing in spite of whatever be trying to come and attach itself to us. But I'll show you guys in a minute what just went wrong on this baby gown that we can fix. Because as you know, something went wrong. So okay, we got a couple more letters and then we're gonna get to the finale. Let's see. I'm gonna cut around this deep a little bit so it won't be hanging out when we get ready to bring that last stitch. But make sure that you cut close as possible. Close, close. So let's see here. Two more letters. Okay. It's like when you go use Applique, you know, I be concentrating, making sure. Because once you put that last stitch down, that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and heat my little heat cricket press. Not in my seat. And as I said, I'm gonna show y'all what I messed up. Because y'all know I messed up. Okay, sis. Don't stay up too late, hanging on since you got an early morning. Okay. Okay. So yeah. One more letter on the name, and yeah. So I'm doing the S, and then I'm gonna lightly go into that A and that E, and pray that I don't cut a hole in the hand. This applicator is very stuff. It's like when when you try to cut around all these letters and not cut the stitches, it'd be so real. Okay. Cut the last letter, and then once I cut the letter, once I cut the last letter, we're gonna put it back. On the embroidery machine. So, okay, we're cutting in the last letter, and then we're gonna put it back on the embroidery machine, and then run that last stitch. So what I do is after I cut the applique, I'm gonna run my lint roller just so it can be clean. Just so it can be clean. Okay, I gotta get. I forgot about this little E. Got to be able to go in the little hole, but that was a great tip though that Angela had, Angela Janslina, where you know you can cut a little hole inside of the apple before you even lay it down. That way you don't have no worry. You don't have any worries of if you gonna cut the actual garment. So just a great little tip. Okay, so the E is done. So I gotta cut inside of the D. Once I cut inside of the D, we're gonna be ready to put it back on the machine. Okay, and I'm gonna run that lint roller over it again. And of course, something happened. Something went wrong. Yes, something went wrong. So I told you something went wrong. So part of it looked good, and look what happened. That's why I was saying you gotta really, really watch it because it's tacked down. It tacked down to the gown. Tacked down to the gown. So I'm gonna go in here and flip these stitches right quick. So I see in here where I can, it was not on the gown per se, it was just on the tack down stitch. So I'm gonna untack it before I do the tack down stitch. Hold on. Sometimes you can pretty much get away with certain stuff. Like where's my seam ripper? Seam ripper. Keep you a seam ripper on you because with a seam ripper you can fix some things. So I'm just kind of ripping the seam. And it don't look like it's gonna work, but hey, we gotta go with this one, and I'll probably do another one after the live. But we're gonna go with this one for now, since we've already started. So what we are about to do now is put it back on there so now y'all see where it's stuck. That's why you have to really, really babysit it. Babysit it. Because yeah, stuff like that happens. So oh, okay, okay. Thank you, Patrice. So you really have to babysit it because look what happened. Oh, let me see how. Look what happened. It's stuck to the gown. So yeah, it's stuck. See that? It's tacked down. So we're gonna have to roll with it because we've already started, and we ain't quit. We're gonna just finish it and see I thought I was able to rip the seams a little bit. I was, but I don't want to risk, putting a hole in the gown. So I don't know. I don't know. Because sometimes you can pretty much savage it. So it might be savable. Because we're gonna run this zigzag, so it might still it might be okay. Well, we'll see. So we're gonna put it back on the machine and let it run that last stitch. So and then we're gonna put it back in there. Bracket. I'm gonna put the brackets back on there. So yeah, I got the camera back on it. So I always like to have something because my hand has been in the way several times and I done broke a nail, putting my hands in the way trying to hold it. So I always kind of put you something. So okay, so now I'm gonna hit start again. All I did was take it off and cut around the letters, cut the applique letters out. So we're gonna start it again. Making sure I ain't getting in the way. So this one is more final stitch. So this is the zigzag stitch. Some final stitches are typically are satin stitches. So it just depends on that book that you bought, that you buy zigzag, because it'll be listed as zigzag. Oh, okay, Christine, Marilyn, yes. We're gonna see the final project, despite the little challenge that he's having at the end. But she said that the customer didn't care if it was gray or yellow. So if I can't establish this yellow, I'm gonna turn it back around and do it gray. Gray and lavender. And I'll see if it's this fun and this African yellow. So that's why it's very important. Like, when you float it like this, you have to babysit it. Like, you gotta make sure that the fabric is straight, lined up, no bubbles or anything. Because as you can see, it messed up. So put it on the letters. And thank y'all for hanging in there. So it's running a zigzag stitch, and I'm just holding it to make sure that the zipper don't fall down, you know, the material don't fall on the gown. And so I found this to be the best way to do it is to float it. I haven't found a way to like actually hoop it, so this is probably the only way that I know to do the baby gown. Because the baby gown is very much easy on a single needle, but on a multi needle, this is the only way that I know how to do it.
So, I mean, anybody else got any tips? Let me know. So it's doing the zigzag stitch. And I'm running at 600 speed. I really just started running at a 600 speed. I used to always run everything on like 450, 500 because I didn't want needle breaks and stuff. And then now I'm like, we can just crank this thing up. So now I run pretty much, but I don't really go past 600. I don't go 600, 700 because I don't know if the vibration that it may give for my neighbors under me, like they know, they have said that it didn't bother them, but I know that the machine could be giving out some type of vibration. So anytime I'm up working late or I'm embroidering anything, I try to keep it at 600. So I haven't ran past 600 ever. But I used to go very slow just to make sure I didn't get a whole bunch of needle breaks, spread breaks. But of course, that didn't mean anything because I still had thread breaks and stuff. But I just always thought running it slower. But I always run at 600 speed, and I'm sure that I can probably speed it up. So yeah. This is the last letter of the applique, and so once this gets done stitching, then it's gonna stitch the name. I mean her middle name, which is Jai. So her name is gonna be Sydney Jai. It looks nice despite the issue. Okay, so now it's done with that, and because I didn't change, well, I didn't change the color, so it's still, doing that. Okay, so I'm gonna have thread break. Okay, so I got a bead for a thread break, and of course, that means that my bottom is out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blow into, get all that little rubbish up out of there. Yeah, all that coming up. So usually on the Ricoma, when you see T break and the thread is still attached, that I always check the bobbin first, and that's what it is. My bobbin needs to be changed, so I'm gonna change out the bobbin, and then we can keep rolling. So these are the bobbins that I use, which are the Madeira magnetic bar bobbins, magnetic side bar bobbins L. So I just was when I first got my machine, that's what they gave you was a sample of these bobbins. So I just went ahead and because I didn't have any issues after I got the machine, I just started, I never changed to another bobbin. So I use these. So what you do is right here. Okay, so what you do is you put the bobbin in, facing you, and so you go, it's a little pull, so you go clockwise. It's a hook on the side, hook it, and then one tap around the back, and then insert the bobbin, and then you're good to go. So we're gonna have to I want to be hollering on this slide. Christian, can you bring me my charger? My phone is okay. It's going to be so. It's on that table. So back on the screen. So because I had to replace the Bible, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back from where we started. So to go back, charge this phone before it leaves. Go bye. Okay, so we got to go back. So we're gonna go to tea break. This is tea break is where it's showing on the screen that it had a break. So we're gonna go back, and I'm gonna just look at it, go back to it, and see it's doing like a little black line. And so we're gonna start it back again. So now it's gonna go back and start back where it left off at. And it's doing the last, her middle name, which is Jai. And we kind of don't have to babysit it at this point because we're done with the applique part. So I'm just watching it just to make sure that nothing happens. And thank you everybody for hanging in the chat. And he's just doing her middle name. Her name is Sydney, and Jai is not applique. Jai is just it's just her middle name. So she's doing a satin stitch, just a regular font, a farmhouse font. So again, when you buy those fonts, make sure you look at those sizes to see what size that the font comes in, because there have been plenty of times that I bought a font and it got a size 7-inch. And I just needed a 1-inch. So just make sure you check that, because anytime it's a digital file, people don't want to, they don't take a refund because they're like, you should have read that.
once you get done, it's done with the name, the middle name, baby gown be done. The only tedious part of doing a baby gown on a multi-needle is the cutting of the letters, because you really can't unhoop it and you gotta just try to go around and cut the letters. And then you kind of like, not most of the time. Okay, looks like it's done. Okay, so I'm gonna take it off the hoop. Mighty hoops are my best friends in the whole wide world, because you ain't struggling with it. You just hoop it. And always, like I said, I store mine like this. I don't put them together. Okay, so of course I'm just gonna cut a little bit of it for the sake of us being on live. So I'm gonna cut around it. These scissors are amazing because they have one little thing that holds down the fabric, so you don't cut it. So of course, you know. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. So of course, you know, you'll put your tender touch. Let me show you. Water soluble. So this is the tender touch that I use, and I use this for all of my baby items. Let's pull that up. Okay. So all of the baby items that I use, that I embroider, this did you use tearaway? I used cutaway. I use cutaway stabilizer, and I just cut around it. Hold on one second. Make sure I'm in the camera. Yes, I use cutaway stabilizer. Um, I use cutaway to give it a little bit more stability, and I just cut it, and uh, I'm gonna cut it, you know, finer, of course, after the live, and then add tender touch. So you know, you just put the tender touch, and you put the rough side down. It comes like this, and you know, you put the rough side to the material, and then you iron on the smooth side. Yeah, I use tearaway stabilizer for bags. I want to say, yeah. Let me see if I got to show you this bag. This is a bag that I embroidered with just a flower leather. Of course, it takes time to figure out. The only thing about it is Ricoma does not already have the letters preset. So when you buy a file like this, they'll send you like a I guess like it's like a about page, and the page shows you what is step one. So that way you'll know how to actually um, list your colors to make it like this. And I did 6 of them for Mother's Day. So thank you, Marilyn. So I did this and a towel. I don't know where the towel is, but things like that you just tear away because you just tear it off. And thank you. And so you just tear that stabilizer out and just cut your stitches. So that's why I use tearaway for like bags and stuff that you kind of really don't wear because it's more stable. So okay, here's the gown. Uh-oh. What? Oh, okay. Here's the gown, sitting it jack. So yeah, Here's the gown for Sydney Jai. It turned out okay. It turned out okay because, of course, down here it got stitched down, but it may be okay. I may can work on it a little bit. If not, it'll get redone in a different color. But this is the gown. So what you'll do is put your tender touch on there. Thank you. Oh, why I gotta oops that thing. You'll put your tender touch on there and be ready to go. This is the gown for Sydney Jai. So yeah. So now you know that you can do a baby gown. Thank you. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you.
It's very nice.
Thank you. Thank you. I just have different blanks that I like to try and embroider because you never know. It's a lot of things you be like, okay, it's so simple, but you can put some embroidery on there and just bring it to life because it's just like a simple bag. Just a simple bag. A simple jute tote. Just a little tote, you know, that you want to put some flats in it or something, or you want to just put some extras in to leave in the car. And it's just a simple tote with my initial on there, but my initial is in flowers. So, yeah. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, this is the gown for Sydney Jai. So, here it is. Here it is. And of course, you know, I always say, I had just said, make sure that you make sure the gown is in place because you'll stitch on it. And what did I do? I stitched on it, but it's okay because you know, on a live wouldn't be alive without an issue. So this is the gown, guys. Thank you all for hanging out on my first live ever. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all your comments. If y'all got some suggestions on another way that I can get it done, let me know. And yeah, Sydney Jai. And so it's gonna have a baby hat to it, but I'm not gonna do the baby hat tonight because I'm not sure if I'm gonna change the color. So I might change the actual color of the gown. I may do another one tomorrow with gray. So I'm just gonna wait and see how it looks. It doesn't seem bad, but of course, you know, people pay their money. They were like this stitch in the corner. You know, you want to try to have it as close to perfect as you can. So, yeah, here's the gown, Sydney Jai. So, you know, it can be done on the Ricoma. You can float it and use your mighty hoop and your 505 spray because that spray helps it to stay on that cutaway stabilizer. And I'm sure you can use sticky stabilizer too, but I use this 505 spray. I like it. So yes, thank you, Christine. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody who joined the live today. Thank you. It was my first time stepping out on something, but I stepped on out. So I thank you all for being on this live. And until next time, everybody have a good rest of the week, no matter what it is that you're going through. Just know trouble don't last always. I had to learn that the hard way, but trouble do not last always. Sometimes I look back at certain stuff that I went through and I be like, wow, I made it through. So everybody have a great rest of your week. And we only do positive vibes over here. So everybody have a great rest of your week. And I look forward to seeing y'all in the YouTube streets the rest of the week. And date night on Friday with Patrice, for sure. So thank you all for making it so easy because if y'all didn't make it easy, it would be hard. So thank y'all again. And y'all have a good night. Bye.